Instability is now vexing Turkey. Turkish riot police today fired water cannons and tear gas at hundreds of protesters who called on Prime Minister Recep Erdogan to quit. The uproar in the NATO member nation began after a shocking recording emerged. The recording allegedly features the Prime Minister and his son discussing how to hide large sums of cash. But Erdogan insists the recording is a fake. He has pledged to punish those responsible for the recording.
A Ukraine official claims that an aggressive riot police unit used against anti-government protesters in Ukraine has been disbanded. Acting Interior Minister Arsen Avakov made the announcement today. The announcement follows accusations by opposition demonstrators that the elite Berkut unit used excessive force after being deployed by President Viktor Yanukovych to quell recent protests. The president has since been ousted. Avakov said he signed the order disbanding the unit on Tuesday, but the new pro-Russian mayor of Sevastopol in Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula has secured funding to keep paying Berkut riot police in his city. He made that announcement despite the claim that the force was disbanded. A Chinese court has welcomed a case filed by Chinese citizens who want compensation from Japanese firms accused of conducting forced labor during World War II. The 37 plaintiffs include lawyers, academics, and individuals who claim the Japanese firms forced them into hard labor during wartime operations. Besides seeking monetary compensation, the plaintiffs want an apology printed in newspapers in both nations. This news broke a day after China said it was considering a holiday to mark the infamous Nanjing massacre, as well as Japan's wartime surrender.
U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and British Foreign Secretary William Hague met Tuesday to discuss support for Ukraine's new leadership. Kerry called for all nations to work together to bring stability to Ukraine, amid reports that Kiev's new administration faces opposition from Ukraine's Russian-speaking regions. Russia, which backed ousted Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych, has warned other nearby states against seeking unilateral advantages in Ukraine. However, Russia's foreign minister said the nation's policy of non-intervention would be upheld.
Hezbollah has vowed that it will respond to an apparent airstrike by Israeli warplanes that clobbered one of its bases. The bombed base is on the Lebanese border with Syria. According to the BBC, the militant Shia Islamist movement described the attack as a blatant assault on Lebanon's sovereignty and territory. Israel has neither confirmed or denied that it carried out the airstrike near the village of Janta. In one of the most astonishing fossil finds in recent years, a graveyard of whales was found alongside Chile's Pan American Highway. Scientists think they can explain how so many of the animals came to be preserved in one location more than 5 million years ago. A report in the Royal Society Journal says the graveyard is a result of not one, but 4 separate mass strandings. The available evidence strongly suggests that the whales ingested toxic algae. Researchers believe the dead and dying mammals were then washed into an estuary and then onto flat sands where they were buried over time. Has the High Court given police the key to your front door? According to a Supreme Court ruling yesterday, police may search a home without a warrant merely if 2 of the occupants disagree on whether the officers should enter the home. The ruling also indicates that the resident who refuses access can then be arrested. Justice Samuel Alito wrote for the majority in the court's 6-3 decision. The decision also says that an occupant may not object to a search when he is not at home. Alito explained, "We therefore hold that an occupant who is absent due to a lawful detention or arrest stands in the same shoes as an occupant who is absent for any other reason." The ruling is based on a case in which California police found a shotgun, ammunition, and a knife when they searched a Los Angeles apartment that Walter Fernandez shared with his girlfriend, Roxanne Rojas. Fernandez told the officers they could not enter the apartment without a warrant, but police arrested him on the spot instead. Then the officers quickly returned to the apartment and persuaded the girlfriend to let them in. Fernandez is serving 14 years in prison on robbery and firearms charges. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg wrote in a dissent, Fernandez's objection to the search did not become null upon his arrest and removal from the scene. Yesterday, President Barack Obama and Republican House Speaker John Boehner met for about an hour in a rare Oval Office discussion. Observers say the meeting seemed unlikely to lead to a breakthrough in Washington's political gridlock. The Democratic president and Republican speaker remain at odds on some key policies. Those disputed policies range from job creation to implementing Obamacare. Aides say they discussed at least 10 topics, also including Afghanistan and fast-track authority that would give the president the leeway to sidestep Congress in wrapping up free trade agreements.